Welcome to this lecture on Chapter 5, Section 1 of our text in Math 114. Okay, just a little quick reminder, something from the past we're going to do a lot of here. Well, just a few weeks ago, really, and that is about the topic of proportionality. All right, you remember we talked about y being directly proportional to x, what that meant. Y is directly proportional to x meant that y equaled some constant, right, unknown constant, k, times x. Okay? Now, in Chapter 5, so we're going to start this in 5.1 here, we will look at proportions expressed as rates, right, as data in table, or data in tables, I want to say that, and lines, equations of lines. All of these things are closely related, and we're going to explore the relationships. That's really essentially what we're going to do here. All right? So, in this section, let's talk about the rates a little bit. Graph a proportional relationship. The cost of your monthly track phone plan is proportional to the number of minutes you talk at a rate of 5 cents per minute. Create a table and graph, create a table and a graph of this relationship. All right? Okay, so I've made a little T-chart here. It's a basic table. When they give them to you in MyLabs Plus, they'll just be prettier with a box all the way around, and So in this case, what's happening again is the charge on the track phone plan is 5 cents per minute. It's straight up. There's no fixed costs or anything. Okay. So as a reminder, so let's look at that first. So 5 cents per minute, and so minute is time. So I'm just going to say t is in minutes, right? So if t is 0, 0 times 5 cents, y is going to be in dollars. Well, 0 times 5 cents is nothing. What about 60 minutes? Well, 60, right, times 0.05 is 5 cents. Is going to be $3. Okay? So 120, if you do it times 5 again, that would be $6. Right? 180 times 5 cents, $9. Or really, see, 5 times 180 is 900, and that's 900 pennies, so it's $9. Let's just skip up a level once here. So let's just go, so this was 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, let's say 5 hours, 300 minutes, times 5 cents, right? $15. Okay? Now, a lot of times graphs are x and y, but when they're not x and y, the next most common is t and y, or t is time, right? So we've got something going like this. It says to draw a graph. Okay, let's draw a graph. All right, so this will be time, and this will be money. This will be our y-axis. It's dollars, and so instead of writing the bigger numbers of 60, I'm going to do it in hours, right? So 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So 6, 12, 18. So that would make this one 15, right? And this one 9. All right. So let's do it. Our first point was 0, 0. Well, that's right there, 0, 0. Our next point was, this is 1 hour, right? And $3, so 1 hour, $3. Then 2 hours, $6. 3 hours, $9. And we didn't have a point at 4 hours, but we had one at 5. That was 15 hours. When we graph this, what is it? It's a straight line, right? When you have a proportion like this, it's a straight line, okay? So some of these questions, you're going to be given stuff in tables. Some stuff you'll be asked to fill out a table. Some of them you'll be given a graph. Some of them you'll be asked to pick the right graph. All of that's going on, okay? This possibility. So let's move on a little bit here. Add the cost of a 7 cent per minute plan to our graph of a 5 cent per minute plan. All right. So that's the next step. So let's go back up to our graph. Now you really only need 2 points to draw a line, right? So let's just do the one on the ends here, 0 and 300, okay? So 0 times 7 cents is still 0. 300, right? 300 times 0.07 is 2,100. But in dollars, that's just $21. So, because that was 21 cents, right? So 300 minutes, remember that was 5 hours. So instead of at 18 right there, it's going to be at 21. Right, so the 2 points are 0, 0, so it's the same one here as the other one. And at 21, and then 300 minutes, which is 5 hours. So then we'll draw this down this way. Not the world's straightest line, but you get the point, right? There we go, another straight line. It's just a steeper slope. And it's a steeper slope because it's 7 cents. Really what it comes down to here, you know what the slope is of this one? This one is the slope from the 5 cents per minute. It's 0.05 per minute. This one is the slope of 7. This is the line from 7 cents a minute, and the slope ends up being 7 cents a minute, 7 cents, because the slope is a rate. That's another thing that we're going to want to think about here. Going forward, when you're in a word question especially, slopes are always rates. We don't always think of them that way, but when you're in a word problem, usually it's a good way to think, okay? A slope is a rate. Okay, all right. So number 2B, actual cell phone plans have a cost per minute as well as some fixed charges such as line usage and FCC charges, taxes, whatever. Redo the first graph assuming that the set monthly fees are $10 per month. All right, so we're supposed to redo the first graph, and what we're going to do is we're going to say the rate, it's the first graph, right? So we're going to go back to the 0.05 cents per minute. Okay, and now we also have a fixed cost of $10 per month. Okay, so if we make a few points here, you know what, this time I'm just going to go ahead and do it in hours. Well, never mind, we'll stick with it. So T and Y, right? T is 0. Well, now that what's happening, T times the rate is 0, but there's a fixed cost of $10, so it's $10. Right? Even if you don't make a call, it's $10 just for having the line open. All right. Now, when T was, let's skip to, say, 120 minutes. I'm not going to draw all the points. At 120, right? So times 5 cents, right? 120 minutes is 6 hours. We work that out. That out being $6 for the rate, right? I'm sorry, 120 was 2 hours, not 6. It's 2 hours, and it's $6. So it's $6 for the 5 cents. But we've still got the $10 monthly fee, right? So it ends up being $16. And we'll kick all the way up to the high when we did, that's 300, right? So let's just do the whole thing here. When it was 300 minutes times 5 cents per minute plus the $10, right? So this is $15 here plus the $10 monthly fee to have a line open. It's now $25. Okay, so let's draw basically the same graph, just not going to draw quite as many points on it. All right, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So then this one all the way up here would be 27, right? All right, so it's 0 minutes. The cost is actually 10. So that at 0, it's 10's about right there, right? At 120 minutes, which is 2 hours, it's 16. Well, there's 15, so there's 16. And then at 300 minutes, which is 5 hours, it's $25. So what happens here, if you plot the points, whoop, you see it's a straight line again, right? Well, what happened is this fixed fee, this $10 per month to have a line open, it just shifted the line up by 10, right? Because now when we're at 0, we're at 10. And before, when we had no fixed fee, when we were at 0, we started at 0, right? No minutes was no cost. Now no minutes is $10, so it just shifts the whole thing up by 10. Okay. All right, so let's kind of summarize a little bit and write some equations. It says write an equation for the cost of a cell phone plan. So we had 3 different plans. We had one plan that was 5 cents per minute with no fixed cost. We had another plan that was 7 cents per minute, no fixed cost. And we had another one that went back to the original 5 cents per minute, but it also had $10 per month, right? A fixed fee. So we're going to write equation for the monthly bill, all right, where T is the number of minutes and Y is the cost in dollars. All right. So this first one was just 5 cents. All right. And so what ends up happening, since it's 5 cents per minute, that's the slope. You get Y equals 0.05 T. All right. Since this next one is 7 cents per minute and T is minutes and Y is cost, then Y is 0.07 T. Okay. Now the last one, again, we're back to 5 cents per minute, so that's Y equals 0.05 T. But now we also have a fixed fee, right? So you remember that the slope-intercept form is Y equals mx, or in this case mt, if you will, plus b. Well, the b here, when there's a fixed cost, it's the b. All right, so that fixed cost is $10, so it's plus 10. Okay, those are the, if you will, the new ideas with an ongoing example that kind of illustrates all of them. I hope you found that helpful.